Okay.
Why?
You that scared of pits?
Well, bottomless ones, yeah.
For sure.
But have any of you ever heard of Houska Castle?
Nope.
No.
Well, I can tell, obviously, because this bottomless pit isn't bringing you terror and dread, because...
Should it?
It should. Let me tell you a story. Houska Castle is a Gothic castle located 29 miles north of Prague in the Czech Republic. It was built in the first half of the 13th century, probably on the orders of ruler Ottokar II of Bohemia, possibly as an administrative center to manage his many estates. Now, on first look, there are a few odd things. First of all, it is located away from all trade routes, and it's very secluded, tucked far away in a forested area. It also lacked many normal amenities, such as running water, or even a kitchen. And also, most of the windows looking out are actually fake and have solid walls behind the faux windows.
All right, starting to get spooky.
Yeah.
It's also lacking the typical fortifications that a castle at the time would have to protect it from outside attackers. In fact, once inside the courtyard, it becomes apparent that the castle was not formed to keep attackers out, but to keep occupants in.
Like Castle, California.
What? It was like, what?
Like Castle, California.
Because you can check out, but you can never leave?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I see where you're
Is that like
going.
the Hotel California?
Now, you see, Casa Houska was built in that particular location for a very good reason. To cover up a seemingly bottomless pit
What?
Oh, no.
that many claim to be an entrance to hell itself.
You have to be kidding me.
I wish I was.
So, a cave to hell.
A huge cave to hell
Where you just fall.
where you just go until you get into hell.
Until
and
you're
then,
there.
well, it probably gets a little interesting. Let me continue. For years, locals have reported strange sightings and occurrences. Villagers claim that at night, strange half-human, half-animal creatures with bat wings would fly out of the hole and terrorize local towns. It got to the point that local residents would never leave their houses after dark for fear of being attacked by these winged creatures. Even local officials decided to look into this supposed bottomless pit, and they took criminals that were sentenced to death and gave them a choice: hanging, or they could jump into the hole and see if they could crawl out.
Oof.
If they could, they were free. No one ever returned.
How many people did they get with the noose or pit?
I'm guessing they tossed in a few before someone said, I'm not taking the pit route.
I can see that. Like, did the other guys have to watch the first pit guy jump in and go,
I'm hoping they kept it away and just said, well, we're going to tell you what's up until later.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not really going to
we're not going to tell
watch
you
the
who
whole
chose
process.
what.
There's always that one guy who's like, all right. And then he just turns around and he goes, mail my fingernail clippings back to my mother. And then he just goes, I regret nothing, and just jumps straight into the pool.
He just says, yeah, I watch a lot of ancient Czech Republic American Ninja. I got this. Forearms all day, bro.
Now, then they got smart, which is a relative term at this point. Then they took a prisoner and they tied a rope around his waist and lowered him into the pit.
Creepy.
Classic Elmer Fudd style discovery of the bottomless pit.
He's just trying to get that rabbit.
I hate you guys.
I knew he had it too. I knew he was going to go for it. All right.
Now, within minutes, he began to scream violently and thrash about and started smashing into the walls of the pit as if he was fighting some assailant.
Oh my God.
When they hauled him out of the pit, his hair had turned completely white, and witnesses say that he looked like he had aged almost 30 years.
Oh my God.
He was unable to speak coherently and was placed in a mental institution where he died 2 days later of unknown causes.
They didn't set him free after dangling him in the pit?
He couldn't even take care of
this
himself.
This is for his own health.
He
Okay.
died from a
it's just-
short, unexplained illness, didn't he?
Oh, you son of a bitch. Don't do that to me.
Whoa.
In a
You know how
place
close I am
with
to this
a
damn-
bottomless pit.
Stop it. This
Hold
pit
on.
is giving me
A bottomless
ideas.
pit.
Just stop it.
Now, The reason for that incident was why they built the castle. And it's why they put the castle's chapel directly over the pit. After its construction, it rarely had full-time occupants. And visitors to Houska Castle have reported a number of disturbing encounters and experiences. In the chapel, people have reported hearing a chorus of screams coming from beneath the floor, and the sound of claws scraping along underneath the floor. Caretakers of the building have reported seeing a headless body that wanders through the courtyard with blood endlessly gushing from its neck.
Ugh, like you
do. Yeah, exactly.
Like you do.
Like some are wont to do.
That's just Fred.
That's what he does on the weekends. He just walks around with the blood in the neck.
You know, the ghost don't have a head on him, but it's got an infinite heart and blood supply. So it's even spookier.
Definitely comes out of nowhere.
Like they weren't denying physics enough. Now, in the grounds of the castle, multiple people have reported seeing a terrifying creature they say looks like a hybrid of a human, frog, and a bulldog.
I did not expect that combination.
A human, a frog, and a bulldog. Just try to assemble that one into your mental camera.
I'm trying to
What
figure out
part
what
is what?
breed.
I know, yeah, right. I mean, I'm thinking, it's always got to be like human face, I'm guessing. Like,
Are we going English, American, French bulldog? Which kind of bulldog? Like how?
thank you.
Going with
It's hard- it's hard.
French,
This is a
French
hard-
bulldog, so he's really, really squat. He's really compact.
Yeah,
Let's let
very
the
definitely
Tulpamancer
stout.
take over here.
very-
Frog head and a human butt.
Still not as terrifying as bronies. Then there's the, quote, human chain.
Ooh.
Many people have reported looking into the courtyard and seeing dozens, if not hundreds, of people chained together, moving through the grounds while giant black dogs snarl and bite at their legs. These encounters would last several minutes, and witnesses report that the chained individuals were in various states of decay. Some were even carrying their own body parts, and some even carrying their own heads. One of the darkest presences is regularly seen in the hunting lodge. One night, Zanedna Verzalova and her husband were relaxing in the lodge. How anyone could relax in this place is completely beyond me.
Cup of blood? Why, yes,
Kick
of
back,
course.
hear some chorus of screams, watch chained people wandering around. Oh, relaxing.
Not a whole lot to do in the Czech Republic, man. Like,
This is true. I guess anything's
you got to take what you can get as far as entertainment goes.
So while they're in the lodge, they hear a loud thump behind them. They said it sounded like a body hitting the floor. Why not just let the bodies hit the floor?
Do the thing you want to. You want to do it.
I saw it. When they
I was so applauding you and not going that route. Then here I am.
Restraint
The room
is
was
not
very
my
tense.
strong point.
I know, all of us were like,
Somebody do it. There it is. Yes.
Secretly, I was like,
Yeah.
no. But
Funny
awesome.
thing about that band, I didn't open for them in Tampa.
Oh, all right.
Now, when they turned around, they saw two featureless humanoid shadow figures. Zedna and her husband were frozen in fear as the shadowy figures approached them and whispered in their ears vague references to having recently killed young girls.
What?
That's bad.
ooh.
Not like a full blog post, just like little, totes killed young girls, LOL.
That's
Oh
not
my
like perks
God.
like chocolates on a pillow.
2 out of 10 would not attend again.
Not children friendly.
Unless they're dead. During World War II. Keep that whole intro. That's just
That will
brilliant.
all be gone. Don't
During
worry.
World War II, the Nazis took residence in the castles because, of course, they did. It was reported that they performed grisly experiments on humans and even experiments with the dark arts and attempts to open an interdimensional portal. A later investigation discovered 3 Nazi bodies buried in the courtyard.
And
All 3 had been executed. So what does a Nazi have to do to piss off a
another
Nazi so much that
right.
they have to be killed? Now, the castle still stands and even has an active website. So it's still possible to this day to spend a night in a Gothic castle positioned above the entrance to hell.
You guys want to go?
That's really all right. Now I have a different whole outlook on this.
And we're
bottomless pit.
standing next to this thing.